The mansion gate swung open for the black Mercedes. Rachel Foster emerged, her designer heels marking each step on the familiar driveway. Her lawyer followed, briefcase in hand. Thomas Foster appeared at the door, his face a blend of shock and practiced charm. "Rachel, I'm so glad you came. We need to talk about us." Rachel adjusted her sunglasses. "There is no us, Thomas. I'm here to discuss the children's trust funds." Behind her, 2 moving trucks pulled up to the gate. Thomas's new wife, Victoria, appeared at his side, her face paling. "What's happening?" Thomas demanded. Rachel's smile was cold. "I'm buying the house. The bank accepted my cash offer this morning. You have 3 hours to vacate." Thomas had thrown her and her children onto the street 2 weeks ago. Now, the woman who won $200 million was taking everything he valued, starting with the home he thought he'd keep forever. Before I tell you what happened, I want to remind you to kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this video, and share it so that more people can see how it feels when the universe has a sense of justice. 3 weeks earlier, "I want them out by Friday," Thomas said, not looking up from his phone. Victoria moves in on Saturday. Rachel Bennett stood in the kitchen of their Miami home, still processing his words. "Married for 8 years, together for 10, and now this. Thomas, be reasonable. Where are Emma and Jake supposed to go? They're not my kids, Rachel. I've played stepdad long enough." Thomas finally looked at her, his expression cold. "You can take them to your mother's house." Rachel's hands trembled. Emma was 9, Jake was 7. Thomas had been in their lives since they were toddlers, the only father figure they'd ever known. "You proposed to me knowing I had children," Rachel said quietly. "You said you loved them." "I said what I needed to say," Thomas replied. "Now Victoria is pregnant with my real child. I need space for my actual family." Rachel felt something break inside her. "This is my home too. I've worked to pay this mortgage for 8 years. Thomas laughed. "Check the deed, Rachel. The house is in my name, my company, my money, my house. You were just living here." He walked to the door, then turned back. "Oh, and Victoria wants to redecorate. So whatever personal items you want, take them. The rest goes to charity." After he left, Rachel sank into a chair. Her phone buzzed. A text from her sister Monica. "Did you check your lottery ticket from last week?" Rachel had completely forgotten. She'd bought a Mega Millions ticket at the gas station on her way home from work. She'd played the same numbers for 5 years. Her kids' birthdays, her late father's lucky numbers. She found the ticket in her wallet and pulled up the lottery website on her phone. One number matched, then another and another. By the 6th number, Rachel's hands were shaking so hard she could barely hold her phone. All 6 numbers matched perfectly. The jackpot was $200 million. Rachel stared at the screen, then at the ticket, then back at the screen. She checked 3 more times to be absolutely certain. Then she carefully folded the ticket, placed it in her wallet, and made a decision. She wouldn't tell Thomas, not yet. The next day, "Mommy, why are we packing?" Emma asked, holding her favorite stuffed elephant. Rachel knelt beside her daughter. "We're going on an adventure, sweetheart. We're going to stay with Grandma for a little while." Jake bounced on his bed. "Is Thomas coming?" Rachel's heart clenched. "No, buddy. Thomas is going to stay here." "Because of the new baby?" Emma asked, too perceptive for her age. "Something like that," Rachel said, fighting back tears. That evening, while Thomas was at Victoria's apartment, Rachel met with Monica at a coffee shop downtown. "You won what?" Monica nearly knocked over her latte. Rachel showed her sister the ticket. $200 million. Before taxes, but still. Monica grabbed Rachel's hands. Oh my God. Do you know what this means?" "It means Emma and Jake will never worry about anything," Rachel said. "College, their future, everything." "And it means you can destroy Thomas," Monica added, her eyes gleaming. "Monica, Rachel, he's throwing you and your kids onto the street after 8 years. While you helped build his business, supported his career, raised your children while being a perfect wife." Monica leaned forward. "You have power now, use it." Rachel thought about Emma's face when Thomas had missed her school play last month, about Jake asking why Thomas never wanted to throw the football anymore, about the slow, steady withdrawal of affection that had happened since Victoria entered the picture. "I'm not going to be vindictive," Rachel said finally, But I'm also not going to make things easy for him. 2 days later, Rachel contacted Marcus Webb, the best attorney in Miami. His retainer alone cost $50,000. I haven't claimed the lottery ticket yet, Rachel explained in his downtown office. Thomas doesn't know about it. Marcus leaned back in his leather chair. Smart. Once you claim it, it becomes marital property if you're still legally married. We never actually divorced, Rachel said. We separated 3 years into the marriage when he had his first affair, but we reconciled and never finalized anything. Marcus made notes. So legally you're still married? Technically, yes. He keeps saying he'll file papers, but he hasn't, and he's demanding I leave the house. Rachel nodded. By Friday. That's tomorrow? Marcus smiled. Here's what we're going to do. You're going to leave as he requested. Don't fight it. Then on Monday morning, you're going to claim your lottery ticket. Why wait? Because first we need to file for divorce. Tomorrow we'll claim desertion and request emergency custody clarification for your children, even though they're not biologically his. We'll also request spousal support. But I don't need... He doesn't know that, Marcus interrupted. We're going to make him think you're desperate. Then after you claim the ticket, we negotiate from a position of strength. Rachel thought about her children sleeping at her mother's small apartment while Thomas enjoyed their spacious home with his new woman. There's something else, Rachel said. Thomas's company, Foster Financial Solutions. I helped him start it. I was the one who connected him with his first 3 major clients through my contacts from my old job. Marcus sat forward, interested. Do you have proof of this? Emails, text messages? I even invested $20,000 of my own money in the startup costs. This gets better and better, Marcus said. Florida is an equitable distribution state. Even without the lottery winnings, you'd be entitled to a portion of the business. On Friday night, Rachel loaded the last box into her Honda. Emma and Jake sat in the back seat, confused and sad. Thomas stood on the porch with Victoria, who was showing just enough to make her pregnancy obvious. She wore one of Rachel's old robes. Don't forget to leave your keys, Thomas called out. Rachel walked up to the porch and dropped the keys into his hand. The house is yours, Thomas. I hope you're happy. I will be, he said. This is what a real family looks like. Victoria smirked. No hard feelings, Rachel. Thomas just needs to be with someone who can give him what he really wants. Rachel looked at Victoria, then at Thomas. You two deserve each other. As Rachel drove away, Emma started crying. Jake held his sister's hand. It's going to be okay, Rachel promised. I promise you both. Everything is going to be more than okay. Monday morning, Rachel walked into the Florida Lottery, headquarters in Tallahassee with Marcus beside her. The claim process took 3 hours. Verification, documentation, security protocols. Finally, they presented her with an oversized check for the photo opportunity. Mrs. Bennett, what are your plans for the money? A lottery official asked. Securing my children's future, Rachel said simply. By noon, the story was everywhere. Local news, national news, social media. Single mother wins $200 million after husband kicks her out. Rachel's phone exploded with messages. Friends, distant relatives, former co-workers. Everyone suddenly wanted to reconnect. But the call she was waiting for came at 2 p.m. Rachel, it's me. Thomas's voice was tight. We need to talk. Do we? I saw the news. The lottery ticket, that's incredible. A pause. Look, I think we were too hasty about you moving out. About everything. Rachel let the silence stretch. Victoria and I have been talking, Thomas continued. We think it would be better for Emma and Jake if you came back home. They need stability, a real family environment. I see. So what do you say? Come home, we can work this out. All of us together. Rachel smiled at Marcus, who was listening on speaker. That's very generous, Thomas. Unfortunately, I've already made other arrangements. What arrangements? I've purchased a new home in Coral Gables. 6 bedrooms, pool, ocean view. The kids love it. Coral Gables. Rachel, those homes cost millions. Yes, they do. Fortunately, I can afford it now. Thomas's tone shifted. Rachel, be reasonable. We're still married. That money is half mine. Actually, Thomas, about that, check your email. You've been served with divorce papers. You what? Filed Friday morning before I claimed the ticket. My attorney assures me the timing is quite important legally. Marcus gave her a thumbs up. This is ridiculous, Thomas sputtered. You can't just... I can, and I did. Your attorneys will be hearing from mine regarding the division of assets, including your company. My company? Foster Financial Solutions. The business I helped you start. I believe I'm entitled to compensation for my contribution. I invested $20,000 8 years ago and provided the client connections that made your first year successful. I have documentation. Thomas was breathing hard now. Victoria is pregnant with my child, Rachel. You can't leave me with nothing. I'm not leaving you with nothing, Thomas. You'll have Victoria, your baby, and whatever the courts decide is fair. That's more than you gave me and my children. 1 week later, the doorbell rang at Thomas's house. He answered to find a well-dressed woman with a clipboard. Thomas Foster, I'm from First National Bank. I'm here to discuss your mortgage. My mortgage is fine, Thomas said. Actually, sir, you're 3 months behind on payments. We've sent multiple notices. Thomas's face went red. There must be a mistake. No mistake. If payment isn't received within 30 days, we'll begin foreclosure proceedings. After she left, Thomas called his accountant in a panic. How am I behind on the mortgage? Thomas, I've been telling you for months, since you reduced Rachel's salary at the company and started paying Victoria instead. Your cash flow has been tight. What are you talking about? Rachel was your operations manager. She handled all the client relations. Since she left, you've lost 3 major accounts. Revenue is down 40%. Thomas sank onto his couch, the same couch where he told Rachel to leave. His phone buzzed. A text from Victoria. My parents want to know when we're setting a wedding date. Also, I need $5,000 for maternity clothes. Thomas looked around the house that suddenly felt empty despite Victoria's boxes everywhere. The house he had demanded Rachel leave. The house he now couldn't afford to keep. 2 weeks later, the black Mercedes pulled up to the mansion. Thomas had seen the car in the driveway and rushed outside, hope flooding his chest. Rachel stepped out in designer clothes he'd never seen before. Her hair was professionally styled. She looked confident, powerful, completely transformed. Rachel, thank God you're here. Hello, Thomas. Marcus emerged from the car behind her. Mr. Foster, I'm Marcus Webb, Mrs. Bennett's attorney. I know who you are, Thomas said, his hope deflating. He turned to Rachel. Please, can we talk alone? Rachel glanced at Marcus, who nodded and stepped back. I made a mistake, Thomas said quickly. A huge mistake. I never should have asked you to leave. Victoria and I, it's not working out. She's not you. No, she's not. Come back, please. We can fix this. You, me, the kids will be a family again. You told my children they weren't your real family, Rachel said quietly. You made Jake cry himself to sleep, asking why his dad didn't love him anymore. Thomas flinched. I was confused. The pregnancy, Victoria pushing me, You made your choice, Thomas. But the money changes things, Thomas protested. We can have everything now. Travel, a bigger house, private schools for Emma and Jake. Rachel studied him. You think this is about the money, don't you? You're angry I kicked you out when you had nothing. I get it, but now you're rich and I'm struggling. The business is failing without you. I can't afford the mortgage. Victoria's demanding things I can't provide. He grabbed her hands. Please, I need you. Rachel gently pulled her hands away. You needed me before the lottery ticket, Thomas. You needed me when I was managing your business, entertaining your clients, raising my children while supporting your career. But you didn't want me then. I was stupid. I see that now. No, you were showing me exactly who you are. Someone who values people only for what they can provide you. Rachel stepped back. I'm not here to reconcile. Then why are you here? Marcus stepped forward with documents. The bank has accepted Mrs. Bennett's cash offer for this property. You have 72 hours to vacate. Thomas staggered backward. You're buying my house. It was never really yours, Thomas. My name should have been on that deed all along. Rachel looked up at the house. Emma asked if we could have her birthday party here. She has good memories of this place from when we were happy. You can't do this. I can and I am. Additionally, the settlement for Foster Financial Solutions has been finalized. I'm purchasing a 40% stake in the company. 40%? My attorneys made a compelling case for my contributions. You can keep 51% and maintain control. The remaining 9% goes to establishing a trust for any future children you might have. Rachel paused. That includes Victoria's baby. Thomas looked stunned. You're protecting my child with Victoria. No child deserves to suffer because their parent made poor choices. The trust will ensure your baby has security, regardless of what happens with your finances. For the first time, Thomas seemed to truly see what he'd lost. Not the money, but the woman standing before him. The woman who was protecting his child with another woman, even after how he'd treated her. I don't deserve this, he whispered. No, you don't, Rachel agreed. But those kids do, all of them. 1 month later, Rachel stood in the backyard of her former house, now legally hers. Emma's birthday party was in full swing. 15 kids from school, a bounce house, pony rides, and a Princess Castle cake. Emma ran up and hugged her. Best birthday ever, Mommy. Jake chased his friends with water balloons, laughing in a way Rachel hadn't heard in months. Monica brought out more lemonade. You've really transformed this place. It feels different. It is different, Rachel said. It's filled with joy now instead of tension. Thomas appeared at the back gate. He looked tired, older somehow. Victoria was noticeably absent. Emma saw him and went still. Jake hid behind Rachel's leg. I'm sorry, Thomas said. I know I wasn't invited. I just wanted to drop off Emma's gift. He held out a wrapped box. Emma slowly approached and took it. Thank you, she said quietly. Thomas knelt down. Emma, Jake, I owe you both an apology. A big one. I said things that hurt you. I made you feel like you weren't important to me. That was wrong. Jake peeked out from behind Rachel. Are you still mad at us? I was never mad at you, Thomas said, his voice breaking. I was being selfish and stupid, and I hurt the people who mattered most. Rachel watched the scene, her heart conflicted. Emma stepped forward and hugged Thomas briefly. It's okay. Mommy says people make mistakes. After the kids returned to the party, Thomas approached Rachel. How's Victoria? Rachel asked. She left last week, moved back to her parents in Atlanta. Turned out she was more interested in my money than me. Thomas laughed bitterly. Ironic, right? I'm sorry. Don't be. You tried to warn me about her. Everyone did. He watched the kids play. I heard you're working with my company now. That you've brought back 2 of the clients we lost. 3, actually. Johnson Corp called yesterday. Thomas nodded. You're saving my business. I'm protecting my investment, Rachel corrected, and ensuring the trust for your child is funded properly. Rachel, Don't, Thomas. We're business partners and co-parents to your future child through the trust. That's all we can be. I know. He turned to leave, then stopped. For what it's worth, I'm glad you won that lottery. Not because of the money, but because you finally got to escape me. As he walked away, Monica appeared beside Rachel. That must have been hard. It was necessary, Rachel said. She watched Emma and Jake playing with their friends, completely carefree. They needed to see him apologize, to know his rejection wasn't their fault. You're too kind to him. I'm not doing it for him. I'm doing it for them. Rachel gestured to the children, and for that baby who didn't ask to be born into this mess. 6 months later, Rachel's new office at Foster Financial Solutions overlooked Biscayne Bay. As COO, she'd restructured the company completely. Revenue was up 70%. They'd hired 10 new employees. Thomas knocked on her open door. Got a minute? Come in. He sat across from her desk, professional distance maintained. They had developed a working relationship built on mutual respect and clear boundaries. Victoria had the baby, Thomas said. A girl, Sophia. Congratulations. How are they? Good. Victoria's maturing. Her parents are helping a lot. He slid a photo across the desk. I wanted you to see her. Rachel looked at the image of a tiny baby with Thomas's eyes. She's beautiful. The trust you set up, the one you funded beyond what the settlement required. Thomas's voice caught. You didn't have to do that. Yes, I did. Why, after everything I put you through? Rachel thought carefully. Because I know what it's like to worry about providing for your children. To lie awake at night wondering how you'll pay for their future. I never want any child to experience that uncertainty, including yours. Thomas wiped his eyes. I destroyed the best thing in my life because I was too stupid to see what I had. You made mistakes. You're trying to do better now. That's what matters. Emma and Jake, they ask about me sometimes. Rachel nodded. They're still hurt, but they're healing. Maybe in time, if you prove you've changed, we can work on rebuilding that relationship, slowly. I'd like that more than you know. After Thomas left, Monica video-called from her new condo in New York. Purchased with help from Rachel. How's the office life treating you? Monica asked. Surprisingly good. Turns out I'm excellent at running a company, when someone isn't undermining me. Any regrets about Thomas? Rachel looked at the framed photo on her desk. Emma and Jake on the beach building sandcastles. Genuine smiles. Pure happiness. None. This is exactly where I'm supposed to be. 1 year after the lottery, the conference room at Foster Financial Solutions was packed. Rachel stood at the head of the table, presenting the year-end numbers. Record profits, she announced. We've expanded to 3 new markets and doubled our client base. The board applauded. Thomas clapped from his seat, genuine pride in his eyes. Their relationship had evolved into something neither expected. An actual friendship built on mutual professional respect. After the meeting, Rachel drove to Emma's school for a parent-teacher conference. Emma was thriving. Jake had joined the soccer team. They lived in their beautiful Coral Gables home, traveled during school breaks, and most importantly, felt secure and loved. That evening, Rachel tucked both children into bed. Mommy, Emma said sleepily, I'm glad we moved here. I like our new life. Me too, sweetheart. Are you happy? Jake asked. Rachel thought about the question. The lottery money had changed everything. Yes, but the real transformation had been internal. Learning her worth, understanding she deserved respect, refusing to accept less than she deserved. Yes, buddy, I'm very happy. Later, Rachel stood on her balcony overlooking the ocean. Her phone buzzed with a text from Marcus. Foundation paperwork approved. Bennett Children's Fund officially active. Rachel had established a foundation to help single parents going through divorce, providing legal assistance and emergency housing. Her own experience would help others. She thought about Thomas showing up at the gate a year ago, expecting she'd take him back. How he'd assumed her money would make her forgive everything. He'd been wrong. The money had given her options, yes, but the real power came from knowing she didn't need him, didn't need anyone who didn't value her. Rachel looked at her reflection in the glass doors. She barely recognized the woman who'd packed boxes in tears a year ago. That woman was gone, replaced by someone stronger, wiser, and completely in control of her destiny. The lottery ticket had been a miracle, but the real winning had been walking away from someone who treated her as worthless and building a life where she and her children could flourish. Thomas had thrown them out, thinking he was discarding what he no longer needed. Instead, he'd freed her to become everything she was meant to be. And that was worth more than $200 million. Though having the $200 million didn't hurt,